Alexandre Kouchner is a French political analyst and joins us now. A very warm welcome to the programme. Well, Macron wins. Is it uncharitable to describe this as a hollow victory?
No, it's actually pretty accurate. The reality is that when Emmanuel Macron was first elected 5 years ago, he vowed to change the system so that no one would want to vote for Marine Le Pen again. In the rematch that just happened yesterday, he lost 2 million votes. She gained 3. So yes, Emmanuel Macron is the first president to be re-elected since 1965. That's a huge win. But as your correspondent was saying, this is not a vote of adhesion. This is why the French voted for Macron, is actually because they hated Marine Le Pen just slightly less. Slightly more, sorry.
Let's just talk about the legislative challenges ahead, which American viewers will understand, of course, and that sense of legislative roadblock, because Macron's celebrations might well be short-lived, given the National Assembly parliamentary elections next, I think in 2 months' time, because those really could derail his plans, couldn't they?
Absolutely. In the French system, we have a small glitch called a cohabitation. This happens when the president and the prime minister are not from the same party. This means that should Emmanuel Macron not be able to have a clear majority in parliament, he could have to deal with a government he does not control. This could either be Jean-Luc Mélenchon, a radical left who has done very well in the last election, or with Marine Le Pen, in which case this would end up in a political gridlock.
When the historians sit down and write the story of election France 2022, what will the historians say? Will they say this was about immigration, the economy, Ukraine, security? What do you think the issues were which decided this election result?
Well, what was really on the French electorate's mind was purchasing power. And this is also why Marine Le Pen was rather successful. She turned from race and immigration to bread and butter issues, and that served her very well. But if historians look at this precise election, they will see a tipping point in French political history. It's the undoing of a two-party system. The Conservative Party and the Socialist Party are all but gone, and it's the rise of a sort of a three-pole political landscape: a radical left, a Big Tent style with Emmanuel Macron in the center, and a radical right. The thing is, our institutions are not exactly crafted for that sort of politics. So what's going to happen in 6 weeks is, first of all, everybody's guess, but also hugely, crucially important for Emmanuel Macron.
I wonder, has Marine Le Pen's challenge, and some might describe it as her electoral success, getting as far as she did, has that shifted the debate, do you think, in France on things like immigration, security, and even the future of Europe?
Well, to be honest, these questions were not so much present in this campaign. At the highest level was purchasing power, then came the war in Ukraine, then came the environment. And the turning point really was for Marine Le Pen to not mention race and immigration, and she was thankfully helped by Éric Zemmour, a radical extreme right-wing movement whose rant about immigration made her seem more poised. But what is at stake there is, of course, the future of Europe. Marine Le Pen is still very, very much against European integration, whereas Emmanuel Macron has dubbed this a referendum on Europe.
What about Ukraine? How big a part did that play in the story of both candidates' campaigns?
Well, it certainly helped Emmanuel Macron a lot, because his international stature is really, really seen as the French by something that serves the country. But it could also be mentioned that Marine Le Pen has public ties with Russia. She also has economic ties with Russia. And yet this proximity did not hurt her in any way. It actually hurt Éric Zemmour, who mentioned he would really like to be the French Vladimir Putin. So I think this was very much in the background of the campaign, sort of numbing down political debates, but it wasn't a crucial political turning point.
Alexandre Kouchner in Paris, great pleasure to have you on the programme. Thank you very much indeed for your time.